Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you'll develop a marketable skill, chase that skill by going the extra mile and develop some people and communication skills. You'll be amazed at what you can actually accomplish, in this country. Uh, big thank you to over 500 people who have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. I have a really neat young lady, phenomenal coach. I was going to tell us about her story a little bit. I coached against her mom many years ago when I was up in Hancock, New York. She was at Sydney High School, and we have a long time friendship with this wonderful lady's mother. So Samantha Butcher, welcome, and tell us a little bit about your season and your background, and let's hear from you.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's always great talking with you. So currently I am the head women's tennis coach at Hartwick College in Oneonta, New York. This was my third year with the program and with our team, and obviously a little bit of COVID in the middle of that. So It's been a crazy ride. I played Division III tennis at SUNY Oneonta and had the pleasure of assistant coaching for their men's and women's teams for several years while I was working on my master's. And then I had the opportunity to head over down the road to Hartwick and take over the head coaching job there. So have been there, and we've, really in the last few years been in this big transition period and worked really hard. The girls have been working really hard. I've been putting a lot of time in for the program, and we, saw a lot of success this season and saw a lot of that hard work pay off. So we were really, really happy with it.
Well, certainly well done. And for anybody that's not really familiar with the Oneonta, New York area, basically Hartwick is very, very close to right within Oneonta or just outside of it. So it is a very obviously, if you just establish a reputation in Oneonta, they would know about you in Hartwick for sure.
I would like to think so.
Absolutely. And now, Samantha, just help me out here a little bit in case I'm incorrect, but generally the college matches go 6 singles, 3 doubles. I know they do that down here in Pennsylvania. I'm assuming they do that up in New York as well.
Yep, that's correct. So 6 singles, 3 doubles. We play our doubles points first, and then we play our singles points, and our players can play one or the other or both. The team we had this year, we did see our 6 starting singles players in our doubles lineup as well. We do play the doubles points first. So our doubles is a pro set to 8, and then our singles is the 2 out of 3 sets to 6.
Right. Yeah, that's the same way. I guess that's pretty much collegiately the way they run it, because I know in Pennsylvania here that's how they do it as well. Okay, so what were some of the highlights of your third season here, Samantha, with everything that you accomplished?
Yeah. So, just to give a little bit of background on the program, I think the team, we were looking at stats and stuff, and in the 3 years prior to this season, I think the team's overall record was like 6-28. It was not great. When I came in, we really needed to focus on the team culture, and that was a big priority for us. And trying to recruit the right players to come in and contribute to that team culture, and not just be talent on court, but be good and in good academic standing, be good people, and really want to be a part of this program. So that was a main focus for us. And coming into this season, we just had a great group of girls who really kind of bought into that culture and really kind of wanted to run with that and be a part of that. So I attribute a lot of our success to that positive culture that we had. And so our overall record was, I think we ended the year 12-4. So we did break a few records at this school. I'm going to use a little cheat sheet here because there was a few of them. So we went 5-1 in conference. That's the best win percentage in conference play that Hartwick tennis has seen. We had the highest seed entering our conference championship tournament. We were the number 2 seed. That's the highest that Hartwick's ever been. We had our first Empire 8 conference tournament match win since 2000. made it to the conference final for the first time in program history. We had one of our players win the Torchbearer Award, which is a new award that the Empire 8 had this year, an academic award, and one of our players won that for tennis. We had the most wins, surpassing the previous 11 from the 1993 and 1995 teams. So we got to 12 this year. And it was the first double-digit winning season since 2004. So we checked off some boxes this year, and we were, pretty stoked about that. So
Absolutely. Well, and what you just talked about, Samantha, I mean, those are all wonderful accomplishments for sure. But I love the idea that you talk about, the culture of the team. I have the privilege of coaching a guys and girls tennis team here at this Northeastern high school here in York, Pennsylvania. And we really emphasize culture. In fact, our philosophy has been to push each other, pull for each other during the matches, and then show love for each other, pretty much all the time. And so describe your culture a little bit on what you're looking for with your culture.
Yeah, so just positive and productive is really kind of what we live by. So we want to have that positive atmosphere. We want it to be a safe place. We want it to be a place where everyone is comfortable, and we're able to make mistakes. Whether it's playing or whatever the situation is, and have that kind of safe space. But to be productive and be able to continue working towards a goal together. And even though tennis is so individual and it is that, individual sport, we have to be a team and we have to come together at the end of the day. And I actually had a player a few years ago who we came up with team expectations, and she said, leave as one, leave as a team. And so whatever happens in practice, whatever happens in the match, to just come together at the end and be able to leave together. And, that's something that's really resonated with me and is kind of something that we follow along, and just, maintain that camaraderie amongst a team, that respect, that trust. And it's not easy. It's not something easy to ask a group of talented players to do. But if you have the right team, then that correlates to your success, and I think that's what we saw.
Sure. Well, and as a longtime coach of both wrestling and tennis, I think there's two twin cancers on any team that have to be. You can't necessarily eliminate them because of human nature. However, you can minimize them and hopefully eliminate as close as possible. And that's selfishness and laziness. If you can knock those two twin cancers out, you may not win every championship, but boy, I'll tell you, you're going to enjoy the season. The kids are going to enjoy the season. And I've kind of boiled it down into that scenario. And it certainly sounds like what you're doing with your culture is that you're, the kids are putting that team first, and they have their role. They're doing what they should be doing.
Yep. Yeah. And, I like that you say they have their role, because that's something we talk about. It's difficult to come to this level and to have players who are exhibition players, and all we emphasize to them is that they're just as important as our starters are. They're the support system. They're the ones prepping these kids. We need that positive energy during a match, because if I've seen it against teams that we've played against. They're very good teams, but no one's cheering for each other. They don't have that camaraderie, and you can see that that really has a mental effect and takes a toll on those kids while they're out there by themselves. So it's really something that we try to push for with all of our players, for them to understand that everyone has a role and we all have to play it.
Yeah, it makes total sense, Samantha. Because I kind of gear this toward teens, young adults, that type of thing. What advice would you give to, let's say, the high school players that may want to come to Hartwick and play for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't sell yourself short. Something that I hear a lot from high school players or kids that I'm recruiting, I have a little bit of a different recruiting philosophy. I try to find that diamond in the rough, the kid that maybe doesn't think that they're going to be able to play at the next level. And I was somebody like that in high school. I never really considered playing in college. And I think I sold myself a little short. And I hear that a lot from these kids. Oh, I didn't think I could play. And I never considered this level because I didn't think I could do it, or whatever it is. So just don't sell yourself short, and take a chance, take a risk. The worst thing that you're going to get is you're going to get a no. And that's not the end of the world,
Sure,
so.
sure. Well, it certainly sounds like you got a great culture going. I talk to a lot of kids all the time, my tennis kids and other kids just in general. And I encourage them, collegiately, if you can get on a team, that really helps you as far as getting kind of a good social group. The other thing I say to the kids is don't hang out with the other freshmen when they come in, hang out with the juniors and seniors that have actually made it through. Because if you hang out with a bunch of freshmen, some of those kids aren't going to be back next semester.
For sure.
So the great thing about the getting involved with tennis or any sport for that matter, you get your your culture group basically, and then get through that first semester, by hanging with some of the juniors and seniors, and you're probably on your way collegiately. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And that's one thing that we see even when it comes to housing, on campus is if our girls aren't rooming together or anything, I always encourage them to room with another athlete, because that's somebody that understands your lifestyle. It's somebody that isn't going to kind of, judge you or pressure you when you have things to do on the weekends and you have these goals that you're trying to meet. Some students don't understand that mentality and that level of commitment to something, but other athletes get that, so we see that not only on the team, but within all of athletics across the board is, you want to kind of, connect yourself. Sorry, got an eager cat here.
All good. That's all good.
I just encourage them, make friends with other athletes, make friends with people in your same major, and network yourself, and align yourself with people who have, the same goals and things, and understands what you're about to go through and what you're going through. So.
Sure. Well, and I would be missing the big boat here if I didn't do a shout out to your wonderful mother, Loraine. Tell us a little bit about the impact she's had on your life and your career, Samantha.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's my best friend. She is my mom, of course. She's been my coach. She is, been a mentor. She's somebody that I can go to, and somebody I can rely on to be honest with me and not sugarcoat things, but also help me, when I need that. So she's been somebody that has just been really important in this kind of coaching journey for me, and as a player as well. So.
Sure. And now she's down in Myrtle Beach. Is that correct? Am I in the right area?
She's in Hilton Head. Yeah,
South
Hilton
Carolina.
Head. Okay. Yep. Okay. Hilton Head. So big tennis programs down there. And she's involved, she's playing USTA all the time. She works at the Vandermeer Tennis Academy. So it's been awesome for me because I get to go down there and watch, a lot of kids train and make some great connections down there. So. Sure. She's doing it all right now. So
yeah, great. Well, this has been wonderful, Samantha. Any last second thoughts or anything that you have here? And by the way, can you hang for a little bit once we cut the recording?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No, I appreciate you having me back on. I always love hearing from a fellow coach, and I love the channel that you've got going on. And, I watch the videos as they come up, and, I think one thing that everyone can agree on, I think that comes on here is our education never stops. And so to hear from other professionals, in the sports realm and in other realms, we can just learn so much from each other. So I'm just happy to be a part of it, be a part of your community, and, keep learning from everyone that comes on here with you. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Samantha. Do appreciate it. And please hang for just a minute while we can chat afterwards here, okay?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, thank you.